Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Now that you're all settled back into your regular routine, I think it's time to revisit a subject that has affected each and every single one of us over the last year. Yes, indeed, I'm talking about GDPR. So today I invited Shane Fair onto the show, and he's the Cmo of Campaign Monitor, which is the global software as a service company specialising in email marketing. And I invited him on to find out more about how GDPR has impacted their company growth and even adjusted the approach for Europe in 2019 as a result of that. So while unsurprisingly GDPR has presented challenges for Campaign Monitor, the company firmly believes that this development has saved email marketing. And that was enough for me to get them back onto the show to find out more. And as a bit of background, Campaign Monitor also established London as its European HQ in 2016. And the company is best known for a suite of products, which is Campaign Monitor, the product, Deliverer and Emma. And they're probably names that you've either experienced and could even be using in your workplace right now. If they are, you should love this one. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Nashville, Tennessee, so we can speak with Shane Fair from Campaign Monitor. Well, a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Shane Fair. I am the Chief Marketing Officer at Campaign Monitor. I have been with the company almost about a year now, and I am responsible for all global marketing efforts for our three brands, Campaign Monitor, Emma, and Deliverer.
So in June last year, I spoke with Cody Bender on episode 562 of this podcast. As a parent company, Campaign Monitor owns and operates the Emma, Deliverer and Campaign Monitor brands. But can you just set the scene a little and tell me a little bit about how all these pieces fit together and also the kind of problems you solve for businesses?
Yeah, absolutely. So we get this question quite a lot from prospective customers. And from our standpoint, it's our objective to provide our customers an email marketing platform that caters to their specific needs, right? So for customers looking to send beautiful newsletters with drop and drag simplicity, Campaign Monitor is a great fit. For those looking for a little bit more sophistication on the segmentation front, Emma is an outstanding choice, especially for those distributed businesses such as franchises, restaurants, universities, those who need oversight and a certain level of control over their email marketing activities at their branch locations. And finally, Deliverer is a little bit different in the sense that it is a fantastic platform for those looking for B2B marketing automation, right? And so with Campaign Monitor and Emma, we gear more to the B2C side of the marketing world, and Deliverer is our B2B option, right? And so regardless of the use case or scale of the deployment, we have a solution to serve customers of all sizes and levels of sophistication.
So I attended Marketing United last year in Nashville, and GDPR and the nervousness around it just really seemed to dominate conversations. So I've got to ask, what kind of challenges have GDPR represented you guys at Campaign Monitor? And also tell me why you firmly believe that this development has actually saved email marketing.
Yeah, when I started with Campaign Monitor just after Marketing United last year, it was exactly 1 month before GDPR took effect. And I can tell you there was a lot of anxiety prior to its implementation on May 25th. Customers were very nervous. We as a business, likewise, very nervous. We were hearing questions like, will GDPR kill my email list, right? Is this the end of my marketing programs? Which pretty scary stuff when your customers are asking you those types of questions. So we were hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. We really didn't know what to expect. We knew that email list sizes were going to be impacted, but we really didn't know the scale of that impact. And that's important, right? Because list size directly impacts our business, given the way we license our products. So smaller list sizes obviously correlate to smaller revenues. So that was a major challenge for us. However, once the legislation was implemented, the impact wasn't quite as we expected. 60% of organizations saw less than a 10% change in their list size, while 20% saw no change at all. So not that bad. Those that were impacted were largely those that didn't have permission to be emailing in the first place, right? And so those folks with questionable email practices are not the type of customer who would be using our platforms to begin with, given our compliance requirements, right? So we didn't need GDPR to tell customers they shouldn't be spamming. Spam has always been forbidden on our platforms. Deliverability is the one of the main things that sets our family of brands apart from other email service providers. So in actuality, GDPR had a minimal impact on our business. Quite the contrary, right? What GDPR did was it made email marketing as a whole a more attractive channel for companies to market their products and market their services, right? So GDPR has largely eradicated unwanted email, thus making permission-based email far more effective. The proof is there, right? When we look at it, we're seeing higher open rates, we're seeing higher click-through rates, all as a result of the legislation.
So I've got to ask, how has GDPR impacted company growth at Campaign Monitor? And am I right in saying that you've actually adjusted your approach for Europe in 2019 as a result?
Yeah, so the impact was minimal, to be honest, for the reasons I just mentioned. Yeah. But all in, we saw less than a 10% change in overall send volume in the months immediately after GDPR. What has been interesting, however, as we're further removed now from May 25th, there has been a normalization back to pre-existing send volumes, which means GDPR did exactly what it was designed to do. It forced companies to clean up their list, right? Which is something that I would argue they should have been doing anyway, right? And so over time, right, what we're seeing is we're seeing healthier email list sizes. We're seeing those list sizes grow back to levels they were before, and in some cases exceeding pre-GDPR levels. So moving forward in 2019, we expect the demand for email marketing technology to remain extremely strong, with acceleration in the European market expected here starting in the first quarter.
As I mentioned a few moments ago, I was at the Marketing United event last year, but since I've returned, I believe the event has continued and been on the road, because I've recently noticed it was seen in London, and word on the street has it you're going to Australia soon too. But can you tell the listeners a little bit more about the event, what to expect, and where it's heading in 2019?
Absolutely. Yeah. So Marketing United is our flagship event. We'll have a big announcement later this month on the details of where that's being held. I can let the cat out of the bag here a little bit early. I can disclose that it will be in Las Vegas this year in September. We're expecting that the save the date announcement will be sent later this month. We actually just finished a roadshow in Europe as part of the build-up to the big event next September. We had stops in Amsterdam, Brussels, and London. There are plans to take the roadshow to Australia, New Zealand, and elsewhere in North America in the early part of 2019. We do have a website that you can check for updates. It's marketingunited.com, and we will post all the information relative to not only the roadshows, but also the big event next September in Las Vegas.
Together with Emma and Deliverr, you guys are striving to provide the best product and services for your customers, ranging from email marketing platforms and teams of all sizes to easy-to-use tools that just simply allow marketers to send targeted newsletters to actually grow their business. But in an age where many of us are all waking up in the morning and delete as many email messages as we can before starting our day, what is the key to grabbing the attention of email recipients, do you think?
Yeah, so this may sound overly simplistic, but in my opinion, the key to getting people to open their emails is sending email that they want to open. Yeah. I know that sounds very broad, but you would be surprised at how often marketers send email that is completely unrelated to the interest of the recipient, right? So with email marketing technology like Campaign Monitor, right, and others, you have the ability to personalize your emails. Right? You have the ability to gain insight into how your audience engages with your content on a one-to-one level. You have the ability to see when they prefer to receive email and on what devices they consume that content. Surprisingly, over 50% of marketers neglect personalization as part of their strategy, which is tragic because personalization, in my opinion, is the key to driving better results from your email marketing.
Have you noticed any trends that actually work when sending targeted newsletters to grow their business? And equally, is there things that you see that no longer work? And are there any bad habits that businesses should definitely retire in 2019?
Sure. One trend that is unmistakable is that content matters, right? Yeah. People don't have time for bad content. They won't read it no matter what, right? If there's not a relevant point to sending that email, it's not going to be consumed by the recipient, right? So my advice would be, do not send email just for the sake of sending email. Make sure you have something to say or an enticing offer or something that will impact the daily lives of your audience. So I would retire the old practice of ritualized sending and begin deploying a strategy aimed at sending email whenever you have something compelling to say or something compelling to offer your audience. Don't limit yourself to a rigid cadence of communication. This idea that it's Friday and I have to get a newsletter out is a thing of the past, in my opinion. Send email whenever you have something to say. Just don't limit yourself.
So what challenges and opportunities do you see in 2019 for Campaign Monitor? Is there anything that particularly excites you?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is predicting what the next big thing will be in the world of email marketing. That is always, honestly, for us, the biggest challenge. As an innovative company, we constantly thrive on the challenge of developing cutting-edge enhancements to our technologies, and it's really what makes us so unique. However, this is also our biggest opportunity, right? If we continue to make our customers successful by providing them the tools to make them better marketers, then we'll absolutely continue to be successful as a company. So, when I look forward, that's really, from my perspective, the biggest challenge, with any technology company is staying ahead of the curve, developing those innovative solutions for your customers. But again, that also mirrors as our greatest opportunity as well.
Well, a huge thanks for taking the time to come and speak with me today. But before I do let you go, can I just ask that you remind the listeners of where they can find you guys online, find a Marketing United event in their country, in their city, and also just contact a member of your team if anybody listening has got any questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Marketing United, definitely check out marketingunited.com. Again, we will post updates there periodically here in the build-up to the big event next September. In addition to announcements on roadshow stops where you can find us as we take Marketing United on tour. Now, in terms of contacting us, there is a contact page on that site, but also you can visit us at campaignmonitor.com, and there's also free trials, full contact page. We're always happy to communicate with customers, prospects, really anyone who has a question on email marketing and how to drive better results with that channel.
Well, a huge thanks for joining me today. So many big takeaways from our conversation today. And one of the things that really resonated with me with what you said there was ritualized sending. Because I think so many businesses are caught in that same process where they send the same marketing messages every week. Friday's newsletter day, Thursday's email day. And from a customer standpoint, that is particularly tiresome. You've actually left me with a lot of questions, and I'm sure a lot of people listening are going to have their questions, and I'm hoping we can start a real debate about this. So I wish you the best for the future, but more than anything, just a big thank you for coming on the show today. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate it.
I just love how Marketing United is always on the road and bringing their marketers together in cities all over the world. And Shane's recent keynote, How GDPR Saved Email Marketing, really did shed some much needed light on the marketing climate post-regulations. But nearly a year on, how has GDPR impacted your world, your email marketing, or even just your browsing? I mean, for example, there are some US news sites that just block UK visitors en masse rather than deal with GDPR. You just hit the site and it says, sorry, we're not going to allow you in. So I would love to collect a variety of feedback stories and experiences from everyone listening today. Otherwise, let's be honest, it's just me talking into a microphone in a room on my own. And nobody wants that. So please, email me techblogwriter@outlook.com, send me a tweet at Neil C. Hughes, or visit my website, techblogwriter.co.uk, where you can even leave me a virtual voicemail if you find that easier. But I'm afraid we've reached the end of another podcast. I just want you to know that I appreciate you accompanying me every single day on this crazy journey we call life, and allow me to beam my conversations directly into your earballs in a non-sinister way. If you're new and you enjoyed today's podcast, why not come and join me again tomorrow and we'll do it all again. With knobs on, as my gran used to say. I don't really know the origins of that or what it actually means, but you don't hear it anymore, probably for a good reason. So I'm rambling now. Just a big thank you for listening, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.